Welcome back to Kawartha Lakes Matters. I'm Vanessa Murphy with Mayor Letham, and now we're going to have question and answer period. You
Go ahead.
excited?
Shoot. Always excited. Always excited to talk to you, Vanessa.
All right, Andy. The health unit has a lot of info on their website, but one that isn't clear is what does a resolved case mean?
It's a good question, actually. A resolved case is one where a person has not been hospitalized, but it's been 14 days since the onset of their symptoms. So if they've tested positive and they're isolating at home and it's been 14 days since their symptoms, that case is considered resolved after the 14 days have passed and their symptoms have gone away. So it can be part of that ongoing, so and so many people have been positive. And what's a good number to look at is if the resolved cases become greater than the incoming new cases, then we know we're sort of, we're reducing, right? At more people are coming off as resolved than are going onto the new list. So that's what a resolved case is. It's they've tested positive at some point, they have symptoms, and 14 days later, those are going away, and their case is considered resolved by the health unit.
Okay. Why are our high risk contacts going up?
It's going to be tied to our positive, our positive cases. As our positive cases go up, this refers back to contact tracing. So a high risk contact, if somebody tests positive, then the health unit and the different organizations do their contact tracing. And then those high risk contacts are considered people who have been in direct contact with somebody who has recently tested positive. So, that can be contact at work, that can be contacts at home. But usually for every person that tests positive, there's going to be a number of people who have been in contact with that person recently. And those are your high risk contacts. So they reach out to them to let them know that they've been in contact with somebody. It doesn't mean that they're going to test positive. It just means they need to isolate and be careful and make sure that they don't get an onset of symptoms, or go get tested themselves to make sure. And that's sort of tied into that contact tracing that we do. Is so important so people that might have symptoms but don't know they've been in contact with somebody, once they know, then they're considered a high risk contact. So those numbers can be quite large, and they're going up. That's not necessarily tied to anything, except we're doing a good job at contact tracing and making sure people know that they're in a bit of a risk situation, so they need to take the proper procedures.
Who would people contact to make arrangements for a paramedic to swab a family member?
They can go to the best source of information is the Ross Memorial Hospital Assessment Center. There is an appointment that is required. They do have a website, and their phone number is 705-328-6217. If they can't get to the hospital for an appointment, our paramedics will assist and try to get out to them if it warrants it, to do an assessment or a swab. So our paramedics have done a great job at stepping up and working with the hospitals to sort of reach out to people in our community who might not be able to get to the hospital.
Where can I get a copy of the 2021 Municipal Calendar with waste information on it?
That's a pretty popular calendar we put out
It
every
is a
year.
pretty popular calendar.
Yeah, we used to mail them out, but there was a considerable cost to mailing them out to all our residents. So we just decided to start putting them in our service centers and our libraries. Of course, this year it's a challenge because most of our service centers and our libraries are closed. But we've gone the extra mile this year, and our communication staff have put them out. They're in post offices, they're in most convenience stores, they're in the LCBOs, and a lot of general stores in our community. You can check online. There is a full list of where they're available. Once our municipal service centers reopen, obviously they'll be available there. But also, if you're doing curbside pickup at the library, ask them when you phone in for the curbside pickup to include a calendar in your book, and they'll be happy to do that as well if you're looking for one. So lots of different areas in the community that can be picked up, but that is also available online on our website. It can actually be clicked on, printed off, or you can just go online and look at the week coming up to see what the local pickup criteria is. So lots of sources of information there, and we'll get those calendars out as soon as we can.
Yes, definitely a sense of panic when you miss those days. You're like, ah!
Yeah, it's a question of what do I get next week when I forget, you know? And sometimes with everything going on, you know, people are thinking about other things and family and such like that. So it can get a little bit confusing. But our waste management, Miller's doing a great job. They're out there picking up through all this, and we just ask you to you know, follow the recycling and waste protocols, and let them do their thing. They'll continue to do it right through the winter. They've always done a good job for us.
This is my favorite time of year when we get more potholes. And if a resident of the city of Kawartha Lakes sees a pothole, where can they report that there is a pothole, snowplow too, if we're talking about snowplows and roads, or other concerns they have about roads and things going on in the city of Kawartha Lakes?
Yeah, I'm glad it's your favorite time of year with potholes. I don't know if everybody shares that as you do. Kawarthalakes.ca/report it again is on our website. Great tracking service that we've put in place. We've spent a lot of money putting it in place so that we can track these. If somebody has a pothole concern, we want to know about it. If somebody has a snow plowing concern where a road's been missed or something didn't go as it should, report it. You can call our customer service. That's another way to do it. This will get put to the proper supervisor, forwarded to the proper department, the proper supervisor, and they will investigate and get it looked after. So we do our best, you know, to stay on top of these issues, but it's a big city, as you know, a lot of roads out there. So the more information you can give us regarding residents can give us regarding what needs to be done, then the easier it is for our staff to get out and try to rectify the problem.
So in other words, don't just go on social media, post about it, post a picture about it, actually report it.
Well, yeah, we don't know about it, we can't fix it, right? I mean, we do have staff, you know, we do have people, you know, driving. We have people that drive that keep an eye on our roads, you know, signs and stop signs and you know, road patrols regularly, but they don't get to every single road. So, you know, I understand social media is fun where we can all complain, but at the end of the day, if you really want to solve the problem, complaining about it isn't going to do anything. You need to report it. And then if you don't hear back or it doesn't get dealt with, then that's the time to reach out to your local councillor or, you know, or contact one of us to say, look, I did report it, nothing happened. But recognizing that our staff will prioritize, and what might be your big problem isn't necessarily, you know, in our priority list, the biggest problem for the city. So they will get to it in due time, and we appreciate everybody's patience. Tough time of year.
And on that note, that is all for our show today. You did a great job answering those questions, so thank you.
Thank you once again.